on today's video we're going to be covering different opinions. So we all have different opinions, we all have different backgrounds. We're going to be talking about what is it with African parents and marriage.
Hello my beautiful minds out there, welcome to the Live Bar Show where you'll be motivated and inspired for your better self.
I think that they think that marriage is the ultimate,
Ultimate goal.
goal, achievement. Like once you once you get out of school, you get your degree, the next thing is to get married. Like life is supposed to be go to primary school, secondary school, university, and get married, and then that's it. Like that's what it is. At least that was what they were thought. That's what they know. So that's why I think they are so obsessed with it. But guys, we're in 2019. This is 2019. We are in the 21st century. Like times have changed, and I don't believe that we should be so obsessed about marriage. Like don't get me wrong, I want to get married someday, but I don't think it should be the ultimate achievement. Like marriage is not the ultimate achievement in my opinion.
The reason why our parents got such mentality will be because of the background, where they're coming from. Then in those older generations, they didn't really have much things to do to equip them with. Most of them didn't even have education.
Right.
They didn't go to school. All they had was farming, was agriculture. Things they did was just go to the farm, come back, and then maybe do some cultural dance.
Yeah.
And they had this mentality that women have to be in the kitchen. All they can do is cook. And when you're
take care of the children.
and when you're of age, your father will be the one to betroth you to the guy. You can't
even choose.
Yeah, you don't even have the choice. Yeah,
no.
You don't even have a choice to choose. In those days, your father will actually kind of like sell you out.
Yeah.
Sometimes in some culture, parents actually
it's
sell
like
their daughters out.
wealthy parents, parents that are not that wealthy, they sell their kids to wealthy parents just for the money.
Especially where they're gonna give you some silver, some gold, and all that. Or maybe even, do you know that I know some parents back then they sell their daughters because of land issues.
That's true. That's
Do you
true.
know, guys, this
This
used to happen.
It's still
happening.
in the Middle East, in the Asia countries and stuff. They still do that. They still sell girls for money. Like they sell girls to older men
for
just
land.
for money. Sorry, go ahead.
You see, there's a video on Instagram, a 15-year-old girl that got married to like a 50 or 60-year-old man.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, this happened like recent. I think sometime this month or last month. I'm not too sure. She was just 15 years old, and because the man had a mental issue.
Yeah, that still happens, unfortunately. But I don't know. I think we're lucky, would say, to have a mind of our own, to be so independent that we cannot be in such position.
So basically, at that time, they didn't have a mind of their own.
Yeah,
everything is based on what your
parents
father
say.
or your
live
mom.
for your parents.
Exactly,
Basically.
you live for your parents. So imagine your parents. All they do is go to the farm. They're struggling, and they have money issues. You
feel like you have to sell yourself.
Exactly. I need and maybe my dad needs to sort out the bill,
debt,
the land debt.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna give myself to this
man, and then so my parents can have money.
Yeah, so I feel
that's the mentality.
That's where the mentality is coming from, and that's the reason it is so imbibed in them that they've had that culture right from the cradle, that now they want to try and inculcate it
that into this generation, like us millennials.
And which is wrong.
It's not.
We have our choice.
We are actually in Malta right now. We're traveling. Like back in the day, who knows what is traveling? Like you want to travel, you want to see the world, you want to enjoy, you want to do stuff before you eventually get married and settle down and have a family. And I'm not saying once you get married you don't have a life anymore, but it's different. You want to do stuff, just enjoy yourself and enjoy your singleness. Being single is not a curse, you know what I mean? Just enjoy it. It's cool. Your man will come, God will send you someone eventually, but it's not the end of the world.
Back in the days, like you say, like they didn't have education.
Right.
Their only education was to train them to be a wife.
To be a wife, exactly. How to cook, so how to treat your man properly.
So if you've trained me to be a wife, you see, like you've trained to be a wife,
and
at the end I'm not getting married. So it's like as if my mission on this world is not
yet accomplished. Yeah,
it's not
accomplished. So it's like for us, we have the education already. So you've trained, you've gotten your own education. You want to work. You're not thinking about marriage. Like you
want to have a career.
Get married when the man comes. But you've trained yourself to be like a medical doctor, and you just go to the kitchen and get married. And
so that's the reason their ultimate goal is to become a wife,
A wife.
because they were trained
exactly,
to become a wife.
to
Yeah.
become a wife.
They always say there's what an adult sees sitting down, even with the new generation that think we have master's degree or whatever, climb the toilet.
True.
never
will
see
not
it.
I
say.
believe
But
that.
me, to be honest, I don't know what they are seeing that we haven't seen.
We haven't said no, right?
But we just have to accept it though.
We just have to accept it and go with their flow so we don't disrespect what they
Yeah,
what they have to say.
definitely. But that
sometimes when it comes to the marriage, I just think, parents do want their kids to eventually get married and start a family, because there's no matter how much what you have in this life, you have to have have someone to share it with. You're gonna grow old someday and this and
Well,
that.
definitely.
But it's just that they have the way, the strategy in which they use sometimes can be so annoying.
it's so like pushing.
give me a bloody
Let me
break.
live. I'm
Like,
gonna do what I do.
Pressure
It.
is much.
too much.
Yeah.
And
And,
then
already we
they
have
mount-
social media. They're making
They're
it
making you
look like
Bella Ninja. Bella Ninja will be pushed through your
sending
eye.
people into depression, early depression. That I'm thinking. But don't get me wrong. Like I have relatives. We actually have a relative then when I was growing up who. She got married, don't get me wrong. She was married and having kids, but none of them actually ever survived, and eventually until her husband passed away. But she was so nice. My auntie was so lovely. She raised most of her nephews and nieces and everyone. Literally, she raised a lot of children growing up. But at the end of the day, when she was sick last year, no one was there to take care of her. She was all by herself. That's where sometimes when they say, "Oh, get married," because when you grow old,
Yeah, but we're not
someday,
saying not
you
to
need
get
someone
married.
to
We're just
be there.
saying
But that's the thing.
there's
just
time
like
for
I'm saying,
everything.
It's the pressure.
It's the
way
pressure.
Actually, the strategy, the way
Can I
they-
say one thing, guys?
It's
I don't
just
think that if you get married at 25 or if you get married at 35, I don't see anything wrong with it.
It's just
You still
about
get married.
you. For the thing is, it's just about between that period of time. It's about how have you managed to keep yourself grounded so you don't panic when you see A getting
Exactly,
married.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Because
important.
sometimes you may want to just focus on your plan, but sometimes we get pushed out and fall off the wagon when you see this one is getting married. You have to
Yeah, that
how is
happens.
not going to happen? But sometimes you
That
just want to be like,
happens.
okay, I don't want to think, I don't want to compare myself, I don't want
Yeah,
to
everyone
focus.
have their own time.
Everybody's life is a movie. Stay
Yeah.
your movie. Don't jump into
All
another
my
person's
friends,
movie.
for example,
Like-
are all married.
Yeah.
Like when we were growing up, we all went to school together. Now they're all married with at least 2 kids. And I remember back then, like 2-3 years ago, I was like, oh damn, I want to be there too. I want to have a family. But now, like, not to say, but like, they're not like, I'm living the best life. I'm living my best life. Like, and some of them are miserable. Sorry to say. And they're just like my same age, which were 27, and some of them are miserable. And some of them are going to end up divorced before the age of whatever. But like, is that worth it? So I'd rather wait till I'm like
Right,
30
yeah.
or 35 or whatever to get married, because for me, divorce is not an option. Like I want to be married and stay married, like till death do us part, like literally.
A
So
friend-
divorce is not an option for me.
A friend of mine will always say, they're not a catch late comer.
Right, exactly.
Did I catch well?
Late
Not a
comer.
catch late comer for marriage.
Okay.
No,
There's time
there's
for
time for everything.
Because
in
you can-
marriage, there's no specific time for marriage. If you married at 20, okay, good for you. If you do it at 40, you are still like okay. We all have our time.
It doesn't determine because you got married early. It
You are
doesn't
better than me.
determine that
No.
you're gonna have a successful marriage.
No, absolutely not.
And at the same time, it's also
Necessary
it
part.
also doesn't determine that if you get married late, you're still gonna have a good marriage.
Nope.
So all that determines is yourself, your
Yep.
individuality,
And God.
your
And God.
singleness.
So even if you marry. You didn't marry my husband. You married
Your own
husband.
husband. So
I would say you give birth to your children, not my children. My mom always said there's no time you buy a car, you never see a road to drive it on.
Right, exactly.
If that makes sense.
Just me, and there's a parable that say, not be who talk first, they talk pass.
right, right.
So you
buy
can
car
get married
today,
at
your car
20.
is old. My car
Yeah.
I'll buy tomorrow will be the
New
new
Year,
one.
exactly.
You can get married at 20,
People
you can
can
get
keep on
married-
marrying. When I got
You can
married,
get
I will
married
marry
at
my own.
20, yeah, and divorce at 30, and someone else is getting married at 30, and they can stay longer until next 20
Yup,
years.
that's
So,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. So
That's
it doesn't
Do not allow another person's fast forwardness
to put you into depression.
exactly to put you into
don't be
depression.
rushed. Don't be rushed by your parents. Don't be rushed by anything. Take your time. We all have our timeline. Like you are good. You are good. You're doing well. Go on and
Love
just
your
keep
journey.
doing you.
Appreciate
Keep doing
your
you.
journey.
Enjoy yourself. Love
parents,
yourself and
our-
take care of yourself. The thing is, at least when I was growing up, I wasn't allowed to go out. You couldn't go clubbing. You couldn't do anything. But all of a sudden, they want a husband. Where am I going to carry the husband from? Where am I going to bring the husband
from your
I couldn't go
bedroom.
out. And the only men I'm seeing is my father and my teachers. Who am I going to marry? Which one? Pick. I don't understand.
Even if they told you not to do all of that, you had the window you could sneak somewhere.
I didn't have any window.
Oh, well, darling.
Bitch,
I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, I didn't have any window. I didn't have any. I lived in the second floor of the building. I didn't have a window to block out. I didn't have any window. Believe me.
Expecting you to be disobedient.
I was the good girl. I was the good girl.
It's so funny when you see talking to a guy.
Sandra always. Sandra is the fast one.
Sandra is talking about herself now.
Sandra is the fast one, you know.
Yeah,
I didn't have any window, so I'm like, where do I bring the husband from? If I wasn't allowed to do anything, I wasn't allowed to club, to go out, anything. So where am I going to bring the husband from? So give me my time. When the time comes, I'll bring you the man, mommy. Don't worry, okay? It's going to be rich too.
All right, guys. When it has to do with marriage, we have so much to talk about. But you know what? We're going to go to the next question. So, is marriage the ultimate goal or biggest achievement?
I think you should answer that question first.
Yeah,
No,
me.
Frances.
Yes.
Frances
is
is
actually
married,
married.
and she's got 18-month-old baby.
Getting married is one thing, then having a child,
child
trust me
in
guys,
Malaysia.
is stressful. Sometimes you feel like you don't even want to get married. Like, is it even worth it? Like, trust me, you're thinking like, is it even worth it? Like,
Right.
I think sometimes you feel like, oh, when you're single, you get this relaxed mind, and
Yeah.
you know, but
You don't have responsibilities.
All you
Thank
think
you.
about is yourself.
or you think about
Right,
yourself,
right,
but
right,
now
right.
it's like you think of your husband, you think of your son, you forget yourself, you forget like, oh my god, I need to have a life, I need to like, you know,
Right, right.
enjoy myself. And I think the most important thing about it is just the love. When you love the person so much, you try to, you know, take in all these you think of the future basically. You just take in so much that you're like, okay, yeah, you know, because of the love you have for the person, you don't have to let those little things get to you. Because sometimes your Snapchat, you see your friends going clubbing, oh my gosh, person is in Miami, oh my gosh, like this person is in Bali, oh my gosh, like what's going on? Like I can't even come out of my house, I'm in my room every day, like what's going on? Like
Changing
you see-
diapers and
exactly,
feeding
like you see
baby
like
and
different
all
hairstyles, you're like, oh my god, when like I take off this my hair from my head, you're thinking like, I think social media is depressing, you know.
social media. Let's be honest, social media is part of the thing that's giving us that panic here. Our parents in one side giving us the stress. Social media on the other side. Everybody just EJ.
Like when you see so many
People
things,
should leave us alone
and you
now.
think of your life, you're
People should
wondering,
let
like,
us
what
live.
have I done to myself, please? Why did I get married, please? But
My
yeah,
sister
it's,
always
marriage is a
told me,
beautiful
like,
thing, though.
Sandra, don't rush it.
No,
My
don't.
sister, like, what do you know? What landmark? Tell me one country that when they say Sandra, they say, I know that girl. If you've not done that, then you have not enjoyed life.
Yeah. But it's true. But
Leave
if
the
you
landmark.
don't,
So if they call your
it's
name in
true.
London, Sandra, I know
Another
that
girl.
girl.
Immortal.
I know
Sandra,
that.
I know
but
that
not,
girl.
but not for the wrong reason. So
Yeah.
but
For
the
good
fact that
reasons.
You've seen the world. You've traveled.
So you've
enjoyed your life.
You ate life that by the time we all done go to heaven, we say, God, I enjoy life. Look at my receipts.
You have all the receipts
Look
about
at my
this.
receipts. In fact, there's some left. I'll tell and
you brought me to this world to enjoy this world that you've created,
Enjoy
so I'm
life.
enjoying it.
Enjoy. Because,
Live
look
your
at
best
what-
No,
I mean,
actually,
we are
yes, sorry.
blessed.
Your auntie, your sister.
My sister.
When did she get
yeah,
married?
She got married in her mid-30s, yeah. The way my sister lived life, you won't think she had 2 kids at the age of under 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
And some girls that what in 20s, they don't even live half of the life.
Exactly.
So,
true.
yeah.
Literally enjoy your life. I mean, we have so many beautiful amenities.
The
God
world
has
is
blessed us
beautiful.
Bless us.
Let's
So why
go.
not
Why do you
enjoy
have to
it?
follow a trend? Break
Yeah.
that trend.
Break that trend. Break
that
it.
circle.
God
I know
is
it's a
creating
family
this
thing.
beauty for nothing.
I know some people now, don't get me wrong, back home, friends and everything that from primary to secondary to senior secondary to JSS or whatever, university, then NYSC and bang, they're married.
Yeah, just
right
like that.
there.
Where's your life?
What
Where's
have
your
you done? Just because it's your culture.
You don't want to rush into marriage and be a liability
Oh,
to
tell
your
me about
husband.
that.
You want to be an
Liability.
asset, to your husband. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
You want to come in, you're bringing.
Contribute, yeah, you
you're
bring
You have to
something
bring
into
something to the
marriage.
table. Don't
Bring
just come.
something.
Don't just come
No.
empty-handed.
You want to support something that's already there. So if you don't have something, if you're not equipped, how can you support? So when you're coming into a marriage, you want to be equipped. And how can you be equipped? You have to start working on your singleness.
Sorry, I have to say something.
Yeah.
That someone
Yeah.
said. They said marriage is an empty box. When you go to, it's an empty box. Why? When a man and a woman come together in the form of home or whatever, it's just call it an empty box. Why? Because as you come in as individual,
Everybody's
you're
putting
bringing
something
in.
to fill that box.
That's how that's
Intelligence,
love,
You don't want to
knowledge,
come,
yeah.
wealth,
Because if you're
experience,
coming in
everything.
then
You wanna fill
literally
it
that
up.
box will be empty. You have to come and that's how you spice up
not
that
just
whole
that,
thing.
not just that. If you keep collecting, taking from
Take it,
something,
take it,
you're
right.
gonna drain that thing, right?
And
that
eventually-
thing is gonna suffocate and will die.
And
so
that-
you don't want to come in
that's
and
one I
you're
want
the
to
one
say.
collecting from your husband.
That's what I want to
But
say.
you're not giving.
Just to add something to that,
It's
you just
two
said,
ways.
love is not always enough. Love
No,
is
it's
not
not.
always enough.
It's not
So like
always
she
enough.
said, if you come and be taking, even if he love you from here to anywhere, eventually that love is going to
He will
fade
get
because
tired.
you're draining the person.
Yeah, you're draining him.
Love is not going to be
He's
enough.
gonna get
in
tired.
marriage. Even our parents that are married for how many years? 50 years, how many years? Do you think it's love that is pushing them? Love is part of it, yeah. Love is part of it, but you need way more than love. Love is not always going to be enough.
It's not. So you need to equip yourself as a single lady. So when you come into that marriage, you're coming to help. You're coming to support. You're coming to contribute. You're coming to give what you've equipped while you were single. Because you're not going to be equipping yourself while you're engaged or while you're married.
Right.
So that's the reason your singleness is more important than
your married
life.
life.
Married life.
And this may be tricky. Even when you're married, stay single. Don't
Still
ask
keep
me
courting
why.
your husband.
You may be married,
Keep
but
courting,
you two are stay
keep
single.
dating, keep
I'm not
dating.
gonna go deep into that because
I
then
don't-
I have
I
to
don't
bring the
understand
Bible.
that.
That's
I get it, I get it.
You're married, but you can
You
still
stay
stay
single.
single because even when God created Adam, brought Adam and brought Eve, he didn't bring Eve to say that's your wife. Yes,
It's your helper.
No, it's your helper.
literally, like both of them kind of, even if they made the word multiply, but they were still single.
Single
individuals.
individuals.
Yeah, of
yes.
course.
So that's what the same thing as marriage. Not a lot of people understand this thing. I don't want to go into deep myself, but you're married, but you can still stay single while
Right.
you're married. I'm not gonna go into
Keep your sanity, guys.
I
Keep
think
your
I
sanity.
get.
I understand.
get
I
it.
understand what she's trying
Like
to say.
you
No, let's
as a
talk-
married
let's
man,
talk
but still
about it,
think
though.
about
Basically,
yourself.
yeah, let's talk
about
You
it a bit.
yourself as a
Basically.
single woman or as a single man.
What I
and,
think,
yeah.
basically, Miles
You're not
Monroe.
completing the other person or whatever.
Yeah.
No, you
Miles
just,
Monroe has talked about something regarding to what she just said, being single in marriage.
In marriage.
Yes.
Because that's gonna help your sanity.
yes.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Remember,
The
you're
reason
still an
is
individual.
because-
You're still an individual. You're still a person of your own.
The reason is because if you stay single while in marriage, there's some baggage. See, none of us are perfect.
Yep.
That husband has failures, has flaws. I have flaws myself. So if I'm gonna be able to take your flaw, I need to be extremely understanding. And it's my singleness that's gonna help me to keep my sanity, to be able to understand that I need to take your flaws as it comes.
It comes, yeah.
So that's what singleness can help you.
Yeah.
Because if you want to be like, oh no, he's all and all and
But
all,
everything, that's
trust
what I
me,
said,
you break down.
You're not in that marriage to complete each other because one day
No,
that marriage
yeah.
will fail. If you say he's the one that's completing you, when it fails, so what's
Yeah,
going to complete
yeah.
the other?
Take
Right,
it
right.
as
You're
take
done.
it as you're in that marriage to give,
Yep.
not just to receive.
Not just to receive. It's a
In that
marriage.
way-
Marriage.
Yeah.
On that note, marriage is give and take.
Yeah.
50-50. That's what I think.
It's two ways.
It's two ways.
When you say about being single, yeah, while you're married, I was going to use the same example. Like, I'm on holiday, guys.
Right.
Yeah, that she's been single.
I'm on holiday.
She's married, but she's single.
She's
I'm
married, but she's here with her
one night. I'm living single like
She's married, but she's single.
She started drinking from 8 a.m. yesterday.
People should stop saying that. That wasn't true, though.
Yo, she's married, single, but don't slide down her DM.
Exactly.
I will cut you.
Don't.
Our next question is, does marriage means your life is over? That is no more enjoyment? I want to shock you guys by something intriguing that I saw in the Bible. This is not me that's saying it now. It says,
Say the verse.
is in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 36 to 38. So it says, but if anyone thinks he is behaving improperly by remaining unmarried, and if he is past the bloom of youth, then this is what should take place. Let him do what he wants. He does not sin. That's if you think you're not able to hold yourself, like your flesh, you know, when you want to have sex and
Sex,
all that,
right.
get married. You're not
Right,
sinning.
right,
That's what
right.
the Bible is saying.
Okay.
Let them marry. That's what it says. Verse 37, it says, but if anyone stands settled in his heart and has no necessity, but has authority over his own will, and has made the decision in his own heart to remain unmarried, he will do well.
Amen.
Wait.
Somebody shout hallelujah.
Wait. I'm not finished.
Okay.
Verse 38, it said, so also whoever marries does well, but whoever does not marry
Does better.
will do better.
But that's for those virgins that have not married. So you
What about
those
wait,
virgins marriages that are not married, so don't be saying, hey,
No, I'm
men,
just
hey,
saying.
men, don't, hey.
Which one is
So you
that?
say, because you said, if you know you can't keep yourself.
Sister
yeah.
Sandra.
So why is the Bible saying you will do better if you are not married?
I don't bring the Bible into my
flesh.
conversation a lot
No,
because
it
it's
just
a law of
simply means
explanation.
marriage is not the
It's not the ultimate goal.
You can still serve God even while being single. You can
course,
be
of
yourself
course,
being
that's
single.
normal.
You
Not-
can be
not-
successful.
Not being married,
single.
not being married is not a
Doesn't
curse.
It's not a curse.
It doesn't
That's
mean you're
what the
not
Bible
good
is
enough.
trying
It
to
doesn't mean you're
say.
not woman enough. It doesn't mean you're not being married. It's not a curse. Like
It's not a curse.
Not everybody wants to be
doesn't-
married.
It doesn't mean that
And there's
married
nothing
woman.
bad with it.
It doesn't mean that married woman is far better than
You that's
because
not
you're
married.
single.
No, it's
That's
alright.
what it means. If you can
Singleness
keep
is not a
yourself,
curse.
singleness is not a curse. Getting married does not mean that's the end of your life.
Nope.
See, as you can see, she's married. She has a child. But what's she doing? She's in
on
Malta
holiday.
enjoying herself. You can still be married and enjoy
And enjoy
yourself.
yourself.
You may be
Jesus.
married, we may be married, that doesn't mean your life should stop. So it's about having that understanding. I'm not married yet, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying from what I think and what I know. It's about having a partner with understanding.
Right,
Who
that's
don't want you
important.
to feel like you're stagnant just because
You're married.
You can't live
Who
your
wants
life.
to let you live your life and just be
and
yourself
having
and have
a family
fun?
who's supportive that can also help, like you know what? Yeah, why not? What the heck? Go have your fun. It's not every day. Let's take it from here. You go do your thing. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I'm not married, so I can't say much about that.
But you know, getting, like I said earlier on, getting married is, you know, there's nothing, but it's having a child.
Right, that's
Having
the
the child.
When the child comes, that's when it gets difficult.
Oh, I swear, if your love is not strong, you're gonna.
Yeah, that's why I
you're
say
gonna
love is not
separate.
enough.
You're gonna separate.
They need
if the
more,
love
more
is
than
not
love.
strong,
Not just I love you.
having
no,
the
no,
child
no,
because
it's not enough.
because it's
not enough.
depressing for women. Mostly like when you have a child, just
There's a lot of hormones going on. And
not even that, like
your
naturally
mindset, your
women
brain.
stay at home more to
swing,
look
swing.
after the child, while the men, you know,
Yeah.
go ahead and live their life like as if they're still
Nothing
bachelors.
happen.
You know
Yeah.
something?
You don't finish. I want to ask a
Like I
question.
see they are still bachelors. So when
Yeah.
so for we women it's even more. So if forget like, okay, you're married, okay, if you're married I can still go on holiday, I can still work, I can still do whatever I want to do.
Right.
Okay, having the child now, I'm at home, you know, staying at home with the child, you know, 2/7, and the man is still living like as if he's still
Nothing
a
happened.
bachelor.
Right,
you get
right,
me?
right,
So
right.
for them it don't, for we women it's, you know,
It's a
more
different
depressing.
story.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me ask you, in a marriage, who comes first in a marriage?
Who comes
Who
first?
comes first?
Me,
Marriage
man
that
and
has
woman.
man, woman with kids and everything.
My
Who
children comes first.
You said,
My husband comes first.
My husband.
okay. Black question.
Yeah, because
Okay, so you're wrong.
right.
She's right. She's right, and I'll explain. In marriage, there's the man, the woman, and the children. But some people put their children in the middle, which is wrong. Because that's how, when you put your child in the middle, that child becomes your center of attention. That there's a distance between you and your husband because of that child in the middle. You put all the attention to your husband,
Right.
to your children, and you end up leaving your husband. And that's how you guys just go apart. As time goes, you go apart. In the morning, you give him breakfast. Every other kisses that has to be received in that house from the child. Your husband doesn't even get the kiss and the smooshes.
Right.
But what happens when the child grows and leave home? That distance is going to be there, and you guys literally don't have that
The gap.
connection. That vacuum is there that can't be filled anymore because it's been so long, such a long time coming. You've been so used to the kids. So that's why it's important in marriage. I believe this is the man, this is the woman. The child should come on the side. Yeah, love your child unconditionally, yeah, but your husband still has to be the
Number
most
one.
important
Right.
Yeah.
thing in the marriage.
That's true.
I perfectly understand what Sandra is saying, yeah, because you would agree with me that when a child comes, there's a center of attraction, and the
In
child.
the beginning, there is though.
Yeah.
Eventually.
The child kind of like creates a vacuum between the both of you, and that's the reason I wouldn't blame those who just want to get married and don't want to have kids,
Yep.
because they feel they cannot handle the baggage that comes.
And there's nothing wrong with
children.
that either.
There's nothing wrong
If you
with
don't wanna have kids,
having
there's nothing
kids
wrong
or
with
not
that.
having kids.
And
So let's just
it's
make
not
that
a
clear.
must.
And that's the reason why most marriage fail, like after having kids and they
Yeah.
just separate because
All the
they
lovey-dovey,
put so much
lovey-dovey,
attention on the
just
child and they
ends
forget
when the
the
child
Right,
comes.
right, that's true.
Because now the woman starts having mood swing. It's like the man is leaving the woman to do everything, to do all the
Yeah,
nurturing. And then
I said my kids because I was thinking of my like babies. Like when I have my babies, I want like they're gonna be the center of attention anyway. In the beginning, they're gonna be, but of course, you guys are right. It does make sense that you know you want to keep that zhuzh, you know what I'm saying, going so that you don't lose the vibe, you know the vibe, the spice and all of that.
Because-
So yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah, because these kids are gonna come and they're gonna
eventually go, yeah.
So it's
They're
gonna
gonna
be
get out
left,
the house
you're
soon,
left
so.
with your husband.
And like I said, the divorce is not an option. So it's till that do you part. So you want to make sure you know. Yeah, you guys are right.
So I think your husband comes first before your child.
yeah.
So number 4, what is the role of a man and a woman me, I'm going to always go by what the Bible says because that's what informs my decision. We're all Christians here. So the man is the head of the house. God is the head of the man, and the man is the head of the woman. So basically the man is a protector and the woman is a helper, is a support mate. So the woman comes to help the man, to help the vision that God has given the man. So basically that's the reason we said earlier on, as a woman, you can't just come into a marriage empty-handed. You need to be equipped.
Men, they're like the provider, but what
Yeah.
they provide us with something that we extend. They give us a house, we make a home. They give us a seed, we make a baby out of it. So
Exactly.
that already is a lot we are doing.
To round this up, for me, a woman is a helpmate. So as a man, whatever you give me, I'll give you I'll multiply it.
it.
I'll multiply it back to you.
Can I ask a question, and I need you guys to give me your honest opinion. Is there anything wrong with a man and a woman in the family, like in the household, right? And the both work, we have kids, there's a house, home to be taken care of, everything, you know, a normal family household, right? Is there anything wrong with, I go to work every day, I come back, you have, and one of my husbands comes back from work, he gets dinner, he gets everything, you know, he gets a home cooked meal, right? Is there anything wrong when it's the other way around, when I go to work and my husband comes back from work before I do? Is there anything wrong if I expect to be a meal on the table when I come back?
There's really nothing wrong. Once in a while, that can happen.
Right.
If you get home before me, well, I feel if you love me enough, you wouldn't want me
Exactly.
to
Exactly.
get
Thank you. Into kitchen.
And
You know,
start
you be
preparing
right.
food.
Thank you. That's.
I'm not saying you prepare the food from scratch.
No,
maybe,
yeah.
maybe, maybe I've already
If
prepared
there's stew, why don't you do
then
white
you can
rice?
just
Right.
boil the rice.
Right.
It's as easy as, babe, I'm on my
It's
way
just,
home.
it's
Can
just
you
a
help
matter
me
of, like you
just,
said,
you know,
love.
boil yam
If you
or
love
do
me enough,
that?
you don't want
Yeah.
him to be so, because a stressed wife, yeah, a stressed wife is a stressed home. If I am stressed as a wife because I'm getting all, you give all the responsibility for me, all the cleaning, all the cooking, all the everything. You just sit on the couch, watch TV with the bear in your hand, and I'm there just struggling with everything. I'm gonna be stressed, and you're not gonna be happy as a man.
And women
you
do
not want a stressed
so
wife.
much. Women do
You already do so much.
in the house.
So
Like,
you want to
do
help
so
your, you also
much.
want to help your wife, you know.
Yeah.
You help with the babies, help with the cooking, help with the whatever you can help with. It's a relationship, it's a partnership. She's not your slave. She's not you're not. It's not a dictatorship. It's a relationship, and you want to help and just build a home together. Together, that's the word. Together.
I believe in division of labor. Sorry.
Right, exactly. Thank you. No one is a slave to anyone.
Yeah, no one is a slave. I do my bit, you do your bit.
Yeah,
you do
we
your
all
role,
help out.
I do my role. We are helping. And
We all help out.
We're helping to make the home a better place.
Right.
That word helping me, I don't know.
What do you think about that?
Like I'm thinking of the situation of a child now, yeah.
Right.
When your husband says, "Oh, but I'm helping you to."
What? Sorry, can I?
I'm thinking like,
Wait,
are you-
let her finish.
Yeah.
Like, okay, for example, you're like, "Oh, but I just help you to change the nap." You're like, "Are you helping me? Because it's our child."
Right, right.
Like, do you understand? If you clean your house, are you helping me? It's
Right,
our
as
house.
a house.
Do you understand? You should do all
Yeah.
these things. You're not
Of
helping me.
Because
Like, you
they expect that to be a woman's job.
Thank you. That's the problem. Like,
this-
because if you put yourself in that situation whereby you feel like I have to do
it,
this,
you
and
know
this
what I
is my, because I can be at home and there's no light. I don't see any reason why I can't take 20 pounds from my purse and go top up the light. I don't
Exactly.
say, but I help you top up the
I don't
light.
have to
Come
wait
on.
for my husband
Right,
to
You
also
understand?
to
It's
top
our
up the
house.
light. Exactly.
If I have the
It's our
money,
house.
I'll do
I'll
it.
do
It's
it.
our house.
If for some reason there's a bit like overdue payments or bills,
I
and
can
you are-
pay without
you're-
having
you're-
to-
you're-
without
you're
having
in
to
a
tell
different
him.
That's what
country,
I'm
like,
saying.
I can't do it. I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm helping.
If there's
you.
no food in the house and I've got the money,
Money,
I don't
I
need
can
to ask my
ask my
husband for
husband.
money.
I will do it.
I have
you
the money,
understand?
I'll do it.
Even though you might feel like, okay, your role is to provide.
Balance it out,
but I
balance
feel-
it out.
Thank you. Even though your role is to provide, I feel like, okay, I can still do all those things.
If I
you're
can
doing.
help
Like,
out in providing, I can, you know.
I expect you to still, do the house chore without saying, oh, I'm helping
But the
you.
mentality is the woman has to clean, has to cook, has to take care of the child.
But I
the man
mean,
just
the
have to
woman is
bring
in the kitchen.
in the kitchen.
That's
the,
a permanent
the man
house.
has to just bring the money and sit in the living room with the bear in his hand and watch the food. No,
But I
that's
think
not
that's what
happening.
most
I'm
people
sorry.
like. You know, one thing. Once you set the foundation like that, yeah, it's hard to come
It's
out.
hard to come out. Yeah.
So
that's
when
why
you're
you
in
need to
dating,
get.
you're cutting. Sometimes
you
you
need to
need
get
to
this
let them know
thing
that
straight.
you can do this in the house. That doesn't make you less of a man.
Right.
Do you understand?
Absolutely not.
You know that it makes you a loving husband.
Yeah.
Do not forget to like, comment, share to those who you think really need to watch this and get inspired, just as you are getting inspired now. And subscribe as well and stay tuned for more videos. Also, my fellow YouTuber here, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Journey with Easy. Until next time, always stay beautiful.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Subscribe. Don't you like what we are doing here? Share. Subscribe. It won't cost you anything. Just click, subscribe. That's all. Bye-bye.